Hey y'all, it's Tanya. Okay, I'm trying something different, y'all. I've never done this before. I've made folios and I've made journals. But I've never made a folio journal. So that's what I'm gonna try to do today. Um, First of all, I took a file. Y'all may recognize this. I took a file folder and I don't even know if this will all fit in my camera, but I had some blue file folders, which was kind of good in a way because I'm going to try to use a travel, this is going to be travel themed. Now, this is not the same color. This is more of a greenish, uh, turquoise color, but it's going to have some blues and stuff in it. So, um, and this is the only color file folder that I had. Um, so, first of all, I went ahead and tried to prep some of this stuff. But if you'll notice, this is the folder, okay? Of course, it's, a lot longer than this, but I wanted it to be, 9 inches tall. So I just cut off what I needed to make it 9 inches. Okay. So after I did that, of course, I took this, pulled this away because I was thinking I might can use this. Now, if you don't want to use this, you can just take this right here and cut it off, and you don't have to use that. Okay. Um, but like I said, I may flub this up. I've never done this, so done one of these, so it's gonna be something different for me. But if I flub it up, oh well, we learn. We learn from our mistakes. So this, of course, was the fold, of the folder, and you know how the folders have these little lines there. Well, I took it and put it in my scoreboard, and I scored in between those lines because I think there were like maybe, I don't know, I'm wanting to say 1/4 inches apart, but I just went from the center and went out 1/8 and then another eighth, and then I did the same thing 1/8, 1/8. Okay. And then the reason why I did that is so that, this will it will kind of, it'll kind of bend with you so that when you put stuff in here, it'll be, gives it some room. I did cut off my pages though because I wanted, and what I did was I put this in my scoreboard and I scored. I don't even know where this is scored at, y'all. I know I had. Let's see. Yeah, I did this at like 5 5/8. Okay, from there because I'm leaving room for my pages to fit in there. Now I don't know if you do one of these if your folder will be the same size. I'm assuming all the standard size folders are about the same size. But I wanted it to be able to fit in fit in here and be able to sew this in without having to, bump up against that. Okay? So that's what I've got. But now I did have to trim my pages down a little bit too. Okay? Because usually I don't worry about that. Sometimes I'll trim them a little bit if they're sticking out way too far. But I usually don't care if there's like a little bit of a, graduation of pages. It doesn't bother me. But I usually make my covers um, 6 inches. So I have plenty of room for that anyway. Okay. Well, in this case, you're not going to have room. Now, you can have room if you decide you don't want these on here, okay? And then you can just, you know, like I said, you can fold this over And then if you want a little flap, you could still have a little bit of a flap. It wouldn't be much. And I don't even know, to be honest, if it would overlap like I'm wanting mine to do. Okay? So I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. Because, like I said, you know, you can do this, take this and run with it and do all kinds of different things to it. I had even thought about making this like a regular folio and just putting on the back of this. Because, you know, most folios are just a lot of pockets and, you know, where you put tags and cards and whatever. But I had even thought about you could put punch holes in the top of this and just make writing paper, you know, stack up a few sheets, and then you still have plenty of room to put your, you know, your pockets and all that good stuff. You want to stack some, you know, just whatever. So, like I said, there's a lot of ways you can do this, but I'm just gonna show you how I've decided I wanted mine to look. Okay, so now what I did was, the reason why I did this 1/8 of an inch is because I want to be able, I still haven't decided. I'm thinking about putting like a little notebook pad in here. Okay, so I want it to have a little bit of room. And then when this comes over, of course, you want to leave a little bit of expansion room for your pages, because, you know, we like to put stuff on our pages. And this is really not going to be a whole lot of room, okay? But since this is a folio journal, I don't plan on putting like a whole lot of decorations or anything on this. It's going to be mainly just pockets and whatever. And I'm probably not even going to put as many pockets as I normally do. And I didn't use as many pages. I usually use anywhere from 15 to 17 pages. Full, you know, full size pages, okay? That being said, on this one, I think I only have like 10 or 11 pages, okay? So I did cut it, you know, cut it down considerably from what I usually do. So anyway, that's where I'm at so far. I did go ahead and ink around mine. I used Vintage Photo. And like I said, I you know, went like 5/8 inches, 5/8 inches. I mean, 8 and 5/8, okay? From this to here, okay? From this line to this line. I did, I scored this at 5 and 5/8, and then I scored, now this is with this folded over. This part's folded over, okay? And then I went out from there about 1/8 of an inch and scored again. And then on this side, I did 1/4 of an inch, because when I fold this up, I want it to be like this. So I want this to have enough space, okay, that it can fit everything in there. So where I'm at now, and well, now I did do this too. Usually, when I do my journals, I wait until the journal's pretty much complete, and then I do my closures, okay? On this one, I'm not going to, because I'm going to do one of those string, you know, string closure things, this, okay? But I want to mat, you know, this with paper. It's probably going to be digitals, okay? And, so I'm going to go ahead and mat this and this, okay? Then I'm going to put in my brads. I went ahead and poked a hole in here, because then when I put my brad in, after I cover my paper here, or my folder, I'm going to put my brads in there, okay? And then I'm going to wait to mat this after this brads are through, so it hides those brads, so you don't see the backs of them, okay? So that's why I'm doing it this way. Now, I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to mat this with. I am still kind of working on this first because I think what I want to do is do this number, okay? To where I can have this as a little flip out, okay? And it's going to be a pocket. Alright, and then, so, now if this works, y'all, I may flood this all up, I don't know. But I'm going to try. So that's what I want to do. I did leave a little bit of gap there so that it's not hanging out from the top or the bottom. And then you want to leave a gap here because you don't want anything interfering with the folds, okay? So I think I'm going to do that on both sides. Now what I did with mine is I cut this, I think it's 6 1/4, let's see, yeah, 6 1/4, and then I just folded them in half, okay? If you want to score it, you can score it at 3 1/8, whatever, you'd still get the same thing, okay? So that's what I'm doing with this. I've got kind of a little bit of a problem though. In order to make this a pocket, you don't want things catching on this right here. So, what I thought about doing was I am going to I'm going to glue this part on first, okay? And then I'm going to take either, I'm thinking about just taking like a little strip of paper and covering this so that when you stick stuff in there, it doesn't get caught on that. And it may not get caught on that anyway because of the way the slits are. Now, if they were running this way, yeah, it would get caught really bad. But I'm just going to do that anyway, just for my, that's just the way my brain works. That's what I want to do because I don't want any, any problems there. So that's what I'm going to do first. So that's where I'm at, y'all. I've already gone ahead and tried to prep some things because, yeah, y'all didn't need to see me trying to fumble around. Okay, what am I going to do here? And I'm, trying to decide all that. Yeah, so, but before I do this, I want to miter my corners here, and here, and here, okay? So, I'm gonna, let's see, let's take some scissors, and I just don't want this hanging out, at the top there. I would have mitered those anyway, even if I hadn't have put, that on there, just because I don't want it showing, from when I'm at my, my paper on there, okay? So that's all I'm going to do to these. This one, actually, too, if you do decide to do one of these, I didn't do this, and I wished I had, see how this is jaggedy right here? Because I cut it like where one of these slits were. I would try to cut it and get it 9 inches by avoiding trying to cut through those, which I did not. So, and I'm hoping this won't show after I do this. We'll see. We shall see what happens. Okay. Alright, now let's see. Let's see what it's going to look like now. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. Because, see, this right here is going to be covered, too, with paper. So, I may have to ink down a little bit more. But, anyway, if I had my druthers, I would rather have had a black folder. But, yeah, I don't have one. So, I went with this. And I thought about using like black ink too, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that either. I'm going to use my vintage photo. Okay. Alright, now you can tell either these folders are not straight or I didn't cut straight. One of the two. So I'm going to just kind of adjust it a little bit. I'll try to. Where I want this to go. Okay. Alright, right there. Because it won't matter if there's a little bit of the file folder showing there. Okay, so that's where I want it. So I'm going to try to do this without moving it. But we shall see. And I'm going to use my, now this one, like I said, I'm going to glue it all the way down. This side I am not. I don't think. No, I'm going to try to cover it with something first. So, and the glue. So, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing good. I hope you are. Okay, this is not... Yeah, I've already lost it, but we're going to see. Because I want it to be mostly even on the top and the bottom without looking too crooked. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I've done flubbed up already, you guys. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I got that way off. But I was trying to get it to where it would be kind of even on top and the bottom, but I may not be able to do that. Because just the nature of the beast. Yeah, let's go back up here a little bit. Because for some reason, I don't know, like I said, if I cut crooked there or what I did. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again, you guys. It's probably not going to matter much anyway, because I am going to cover that with paper, so we'll see. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this, because like I said, this is going to be covered with paper too, so it will not matter. Okay. Let's see. I am going to use, do I want to use a digital or do I just want to use this same paper? I don't know. Let's see. I think I'm going to use some digitals. Let's see. I want to come over this a little bit, so let's see. Let's try. Like I said, y'all, I don't know. I probably should have not even tried to keep those little flaps, but you know me. I just wanted to. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work okay. So, or we're gonna hope it does. If not, you'll know what not to do. Do what I did. Do something different. Okay, let's see what that ends up. Oops, I am so sorry, you guys. Okay, that's, well, I got it in between the in 16ths, and I don't have marks for 16ths on my ruler, so I would say like 1 3/4. Oh my gosh. Let's see, 1 3/4. I'm probably gonna be bumping y'all a lot because this thing is so wide. So we're gonna see how it works out. If y'all can see everything. I hope you can. Okay. I'm gonna get it about. Try to get it as close as I can to the edge here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm using my Scotch glue today because it is very, very, very sticky. So I'm hoping this will hold this down really good. We shall see. Okay. And one thing too, it lets you slide it around a little bit longer than the Yoo-hoo. Or it does for me, y'all. I don't know. I think too sometimes our glues are determined, you know, how they work is determined kind of by the climate you live in too. And we live in a real humid climate, so I got a little bit of glue on there, which I always do. Okay. Maybe my fold wasn't straight, you guys. But no, it's not. But I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it that way. Okay. So now, what I should have done though first is ink this, and I didn't. So let's try to do it now. Without making too much. See, this is me trying to work things out in my head. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So, we shall see. Okay. And I really should have inked that too, probably, but I did not. I'm too busy trying to see if I can do it right. You know what? This is going to be closed. So, I'm not going to need ink there. Let's see. I wish I could have inked this, but we're gonna do it now. Just fold it over. like I've said, I'm using my okay. And I can see right now another problem, but I'm gonna fix that too. Because see how that is showing a little bit because I got it crooked. Yeah. So we're just gonna put some washi tape there. Because you know, washi tape covers a multitude of sins. And I don't really need to do that yet because that's going to be cut off to make the pocket. So yeah. See, it's going to close like that. So I just don't want to ink anything I don't have to ink, y'all. Why waste it if you ain't gotta? Okay. Alright, I can see right now, boy, this is gonna be a mess trying to finagle everything around. Alright. So since this is gonna be cut off, that's not gonna show. Okay, so let's see. Already got my paper on there. Just want to make sure this is glued down really good there because there again you don't want it to get caught on anything. And actually, you could put some packing tape here too, and then that would make it slide in real easy there. Should I do it on camera? Oof. Y'all, me and the packing tape, yeah. It's kind of bad. Kind of bad. Because, you know, I don't do well with this stuff. I really don't. I'm always getting it tangled and I can't ever get it to stay where it's supposed to. And I think you're supposed to put it behind these little lips, but it don't never stay for me. It just don't. Okay, now we want to try to get this as straight as possible without too many wrinkles in it. I don't know if it's going to work for me or not, but probably been easier if I'd have just, there again, y'all, learn from my mistakes. There we go. Now just let that go. And I'll never find it again. Okay. Alright, now let's see if we can ease some of them wrinkles out of there. Okay, there we go. Alright, now let's see. Do that. back out a little bit. Okay, now, actually, I could have just put the packing tape on there and not worried about this, but I like the way it, it peekaboos there, because this was, it gives you a little grace in case you get it crooked like I did. Okay, so there's that one, and then what you can do now is just glue this down, and we'll open this up and have a pocket. And the reason I'm not opening it up now and doing this, because I just figured, I thought it would be easier to get this glued down like this with it folded. Don't know if it was or not. If you guys try it, then let me know. But anyway, so alright, we want our glue on the sides and the top there. Oh, my glue. Ugh. I'm always having the glue woes. Okay, let's see. And since we're going to shut this up and open the other end, I'll put some glue right here too. Okay. And then we're going to shut it up. Okay. So now we have that. So let me trim this off, and since I can't cut straight with my scissors, I'm doing it this way. Which probably still won't. See, this is a little, I'm thinking this folder, is not the straightest of things. That's what I think. But you only need to cut like just a sliver. Just a sliver. Like that. Very small. Okay, and then, yeah, we have a pocket. And yeah, that is going to be a lot better with that tape on there, y'all. Because it's going to just slide right in there. Okay. So now I'm going to ink this. I'm going to mat this too. I'm probably going to have a crooked mat, but I'll have to make it crooked to fit this page. Okay. Alright, there we go with that. Now we have one pocket there. Let's see, do I want to put a thumb hole in there? I don't know, I think I do. I think I do. But I think I'm going to use my oval, so that it's not round. I hope y'all can see me, y'all. Ugh. Let's see if I can get semi in the middle. Don't know. There we go. Okay, so okay. Okay, now we have the one flap. Boy, that was like pulling teeth, wasn't it? Goodness. Goodness, goodness. Okay. Yeah. Whew, that was tough, you guys. Okay, I think I'll do this one probably off camera so that y'all won't have to suffer through that again. I've already got my page. My little sheet cut though for it. I don't know, that doesn't look as long as the other one did. See, I'm telling y'all, these folders are not straight. They're not. So, you know what? We're just going to cut another one. Nope, that don't work either because... maybe that's where I messed up. I don't know. I don't know if I have another one like that either. Let's see. I could use this. Let's use this one. Okay. Because that way it'll go all the way down. Let's see. Well, if I can find my mark. Oh, goodness. I think that's it right there. I think. Let's see. No, I had to have it going this way, didn't I? Let's see here. Oh, there's my mark. Okay, so I'm going to need my big mama. Because this other one don't go but 9 inches. Okay, let's turn it around this way. Alright. Now let's see how much I'll need to cut off. About right there. Alright. Sorry guys, I'm not doing a whole lot of talking, but I'm trying to concentrate. Oh me. I don't know how good that's gonna do, but anyway. Okay, so I got that cut. And then I've got my little sheet here. So let's go ahead and ink this up. Anyway, I don't know, for some reason this idea popped in my head and I was like, well, because I was thinking about doing a folio and then I thought, well, I kind of want to do something with some, digitals in it. So, and I like my journals too. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's just combine the two. So that's what I come up with, y'all. And the reason I'm using a file folder is because, you know, they're kind of, you know, sturdy. But then again, too, I wanted something longer. And, yeah. So, I was thinking, oh, file folder. Let's try that. But, I mean, you could still do it with regular cardstock or whatever, too. And then you could just make the little flaps and glue them on there to make, you know, those, you know, we used to do it in, when I used to make mini albums, we did that kind of stuff a lot. So, but I was trying to save myself from having to do that. So, I figured the file folder might work for me. Okay. Let's see. I probably should have done that first. Instead of gluing this down first. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, looks like this one's going to fit better. I don't know what I did with that other one. Maybe I cut it. Maybe I cut it crooked. Or something. I don't know. But like I said, when you use some washi, there's always a fix. Always. And if it's not, hey, it's just paper. In this case, just a file folder. Throw it out. Start over. Oh, because believe me, I've done that before. You know? Okie dokie. Okay. Alright. Let's ink this up a little bit. I don't know if it's going to show anyway, but this edge will, if it's sticking out any. So we'll just do it just in case. Goodness, have I even asked y'all how y'all were doing today? I think I did. Oh, I can't quit yawning. Been busy today. I had to go get my medicine and all that good stuff. Oh, I told y'all I'm gonna be hitting you a lot probably. Let's do that to make sure I don't tear my paper up if it's got some glue still on there. Okay. Wrong way, Tanya. Wrong way, girl. This is going to probably add bulk to it that I don't need, but You know. Okay. Oh Lord, the packing tape. Again. Let's see. You know, I just don't like this stuff. I mean, I like it for when I have to have it, but yeah, not so great. Alright, let's see if we can do it like this time, if it does any better. I don't know if I can get it on there any straighter or not. Let's see here. Oh goodness, it's so clear I can't see where I'm cutting. Let's see here. At least I didn't get any wrinkles in it this time, guys. That's great. Well, I guess I shouldn't speak yet. Fold that over. I still got a little bit of piece of tape that won't let go of my finger. Okay. There we go. See, after the first time, do it again, it's a breeze. Well, not always, but in this case, it turned out okay. Excuse me. Felt like I had to still have to hiccup there for a minute for some reason. I gotta open this end, so yeah, y'all gotta think what I'm doing here. I'll be messed up again. But like I said, anyway, like I said, this may be a bust, but you know what? You don't know till you try it. You just don't know. Okay, that out that way. Might get a little too much glue. Like I said, I'm glue crazy sometimes. I am. Let's put that under there, just in case this one does the same thing. Okay. And of course, since I used that, it didn't do it. Alright, now I got to cut this. A sliver. Let's cut a sliver. Because this pocket needs all the room it can get, because it's going to be kind of narrow anyway. There we go. See? Just a sliver. Oh, goodness. And then we got our pocket. Well, if I let my glue dry, oh, y'all. Let's see. Before we, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but I know y'all know how to punch a tab. There we go. Now I'll glue it. Ink it. Man, I'm telling you what, you guys. I'm just rough tonight. Said this one's gonna be kind of hard for, well, the construction of it is. After that we'll be good to go probably. And I could have gone ahead and constructed this and not made y'all suffer through watching it, but I don't know, sometimes I like watching people do, you know, stuff on camera like this, because you know you're not alone when you know, something crazy goes wrong. Okay, so there we go. Now we got this, and then we got a flap here, and there's going to be paper here, so you won't see that. You might see a little bit of it, but I'm going to ink it so it won't be so bad. Okay, alright, there we go with that. Now, probably need to let y'all go because we've been on here too long. So when we come back next time, I'll mat that, and then mat this. That's all I'm gonna mat for right now, because I'm gonna have to stick my brads through there, and then I'll mat this, so you can mat over the brad tails and you won't see them. So, there you go. So, okay, y'all. What you think? Let me know what you think. You think this is going to end up being a bust? Oh, goodness. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it. We'll see how it turns out, though. Oh, goodness. I'm telling you. It's been one of them days, y'all. But, okay, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope you'll come along with me as I do it. I know it's going to be kind of, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not going to know what I'm going to do yet or next or whatever, but we'll figure it out together. And if you guys have any ideas, please leave them in the comments. You know, I can always use as much help as I can get, believe me. But anyway, okay, guys. I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good night.